Just created a second area for pitcher plants. It's down the end of the dead pool. Again, it's peat moss and sand, 50-50 mix, coarse sand. Do love my pitcher plants. The other thing too, I've talked about several times in the dead pool, I did the stonework a lot differently than I did in the main pond. In here, the walls are actually angled back a little bit. And I took flat stone, leaned them up against the wall, and then each stone is standing on top of the last one, but leaning backwards so they're not toppling over. And I took foam, waterfall foam, and it's not gluing the rocks in place, but it's locking the rocks in place by pressure. And 6 years later, I walk all over these things. That's actually my way in and out of the pond right here into dead pool area, and nothing's moved. I'm almost 300 pounds and everything has stayed put. So the other thing too is I've talked about these two rocks on the other side. There is actually water on the outside there where I have more plants growing, creeping Jenny and whatnot. Sorry for the net being in place, but I've had to change my whole philosophy of the fish. The overhead has got a lot more obstructions now, and we put some lights on it to try to keep the heron out, heron and bald eagle, who got my best fish, largest fish. But making shelves, everybody talks about making shelves, but they're too deep or they're too shallow. I mean, this one's only about 6 to 8 inches deep, and these plants are just sitting in pea stone. The pitcher plant bog that I just made is doing the same. I think just putting all your stone right up against the edge of the pond is great, but you're missing a ton of opportunity. You're making more interesting areas that really set your pond aside from others. Pitcher plant was definitely one of those. Quite a bit larger than just a little overlap, but it was left over from my liner. You can see the pond goes on the other side of the pitcher plant. It goes all the way around it and comes on the back side here. Now, the back side was not originally planned to be water, but the liner, I didn't cut it. I saved the liner, and this was a result of saving the liner. Once I got the rest of the pond done, I said, what can I do with it? And this is what I made. One of my favorite areas. And anyone who's wondering why the metalamat's over there, the fish spawned into that area. All the eggs are there. So I placed a metalamat to keep the koi from eating all the eggs. My crazy fish are not very afraid of me. If anything, they go and check out what I just stirred up for them. Hey guys, this guy here, one of my favorites, is actually a baby from the pond. He's 5 years old now. No, he's not a jumbo 36-inch koi. I don't want any jumbo 36-inch koi. And then some of the, I don't know what they are. I'm not sure if they're some of the feeder feeders I put in there, or if they're the iridescent sharks. I think they're an iridescent shark, but that one's definitely pregnant. My sundews. Love, love, love my sundews. And the liverwort. All these little cups. You can see the liverwort below it, and those are its little flower. Stagnant moss. Lily. If anyone is debating about building a pond or just doing a rain garden, the pitcher plant would be enough for me if I hadn't built a pond. Love this area. You can see the pile of weeding. Haven't got around to removing that yet. And yes, I do have some hair algae up in the upper pond. I consider that my part of my biofilter. Forget-me-nots, they're all in bloom. Yellow irises are in bloom. Monkey fist is in bloom. Monkey flower. Birds are up there taking a bath. The lattice still in place because I just put all the overhead lines in. All that falls. And wait until the lilies to bloom.